Hello, I'm SAPRO and welcome to the CLOWNFEST X studio tour. Those of you who watched my last studio tour will know that I've just moved into my new place. I didn't really have anywhere to put my kit, but I showed you some of it anyway. Well, this one's a bit different. I now have a studio. Here it is, my new studio. Double doors, soundproofed. Let's go in. One door, lights. Here's my studio. Okay, here's my studio. I better apologise about the shaky camera work, but yeah, anyway, those are a couple of my paintings. The camera work will get better. That's a seat. I thought I'd show this for Mr. Gardener. Box of cables. I've got 5 boxes of cables. Now I've still got more that aren't in here. Pile on the left. I've got a soprano saxophone. There's an alto down there somewhere. A load of speakers. Big pile of speakers. Some amps. Cables. More speakers. More boxes. Okay, so we move over to this side. It's the DJ side. PtACs, Mr. Gould, I will get those in for service one day. They've been free partied hard. Boring bit of the room. PC. To be honest, I'll just use it as a tape deck. Leston speakers. Amps, pile of crap. Mixer. I don't use the mixer anymore. I now use the mixer for basically built into my MPC Live. So if we go down here, that's the rack. There's some modular there. I use that to process my my drums that I play for my mono station. Then above that there's a UMC 1820. That's 8 inputs which go into the MPC Live. There's an ADA 1820, is it? I don't know. That's another 8 channels that go into that, so I've got 16 channels going into the Live. There's my Pro 1, mainly use it as bass. I tend to run it CV from one of my mono stations. Then I can do nice slidey things. There's the mono station that runs it. So I have them usually doing bass, and they're both producing noise, and the mono station is running it. There's Sideshow Bob, my mascot. Next to it, TB3, acid machine. It's got some interesting noises apart from the acid noises. It's quite a decent synth in there, but it's all hidden away. You have to use an editor to get to that. And then the MAM MB33. I've got 2, but I'm only using 1 at the moment. Plugged into a distortion pedal and a noise gate. Yep, so that's the acid end of the setup. So mono station, and next to it there is another mono station. That mono station I use as an analog drum machine. The mono station can do patch flip. So I tend to sequence analog drum sounds which go into my modular. I'll talk more about that later. So that's my analog drum machine. Above it is the scooper. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, above that is a Shruthi XT. I love Shruthies. I did have 2, I've just sold 1. Get back to that as well, and above that is a old Casio CZ I've had for 30 years, 40 years, 30 years, 35 years. MPC Live, that's the brain of my studio. Those audio inputs that you saw, they all run into that now, which is great because it means I can put things like compression on per channel, my audio inputs. If you're using stereo, you've got 16 channels that can go into that. And then finally, my newest baby Just bought this OB6, Dave Smith OB6. There it is. Lovely VCO based analog keyboard. I'll talk more about that later as well. And this is for Mr. Clown again. Yeah, I wouldn't add wooden sides to anything, but it came with it, and I wanted that OB6 because the pure tone, it's wonderful. This DSI OB6. I've wanted one of these for, well, an Oberheim for 40 years. Finally got the chance recently. I sold a Roland D50 complete with a programmer, memory card, a Shruthi and an Alesis Airfx, and added some of my own cash. And this is an example of why I love it so much. Okay, the modular. First of all, I'll just play a raw analog beat from my mono station. Okay, modular's not doing anything to that. I've just got the dry signal going in. So, what we have on the left hand side is a Clouds. I have to admit, I haven't had that long. It's a right kettle of fish. It's a granular sampler. In the middle is a Demora. That's a Roland Effects 96 kilohertz sampling rate. And it's even got virtual modular inside it, but I'm literally just using it as a delay. And then on the end, things with the flashy lights, that is a Quasar. Now that can place things in the stereo field. Again, I really need to have a good play with it, but if I just pretty much mute the delay there and turn up the input. Now, the funny noise you're getting, that is from the Clouds, because it's basically sampling a portion of the drums, but you can hear it's going around the stereo field. If you're on headphones, you'll be able to hear this better. I find it can give some really good movements to tracks. You'll hear it in the jam that we got later.